Welcome everyone. We're welcoming people from all over the world. Very honored to have you tonight for this a great monthly webinar. So without further ado, let me just say a few words to start with. So the goal of these webinars is to inspire you as hotel owners and general managers to be a force for good in your local community. You will hear great tips and best practices from experts and hotel owners, all leaders and role models in their own community. They will tell you what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what are the main benefits in terms of staff engagement, guest satisfaction, and at every aspect. What's great about what they're doing tonight is they are from impacting the local community, now they are impacting truly the global community. So that's really great. What we expect from you guys is the strong call to action is to, use this hour of skill sharing, reflect on your own property and how you can impact your community and be part of the solution. I want to thank our partners for this webinar, the GSTC, FTT, PATA, but also our volunteers and trainees, Mark and Stephanie, who've tremendously helped for this webinar. Also Christine Jacquemin from the EXO Foundation and my friend Andrew Jones from PATA, who helped us organize this. A few words now about these webinars. We aim at bringing practical solutions to hotel owners who wish to green their operations. We aim at sharing best practices and creating a community of like-minded professionals. Look at your own property. I'm sure you came up with some practical solutions that are worth sharing. Well, this is the right media. If you wish to contribute to the future webinars as a speaker, as a sponsor, get in touch, and we welcome any labels, any organization that share the same vision as us. So let me start by showing you where the webinar will be displayed. It's on our skill sharing platform, and you can view the previous webinars, so please do so. That's what it looks like. So we had energy, water, and more to come. A few words about BookGreener. First of all, I'm introducing myself. My name is Alex. I'm the founder of BookGreener. Our goal is to offer you enlightening travel experiences. We believe that hotels that care about the environment, about their staff, and about the local communities are also likely to take better care of their guests. That's why we focus on promoting the most sustainable hotels in the world, hotels that are part of the solution, not source of the problem. Among the green hotels, we then handpick the ones that manage to offer the best experience to their guests, and we judge that by analyzing the guest reviews. And the best part, when travelers want to complete their bookings, we direct them to the hotel's website. So that's how it works for the hotels, you guys. You go to bookgreener.com, you click on list your hotel, then you fill in a detailed questionnaire about all your sustainable practices, but also describing what makes a stay in your hotel an experience, adding relevant keywords, as we will offer travelers the possibility to search by experiences. We of course ask you to share, all the basic information about your hotel, but also good places. The right restaurants, the things to do. Well, tell us so we can, you're part of a community, so tell the travelers about it. That's what we're all about. So once the hotel completes the free assessment, our expert reviews it and validates whether it qualifies to be listed. Then your listing is live, and you will receive a label to display on your website and your property. Now, any hotel that is committed to being part of the solution can be recognized as such. I mentioned the webinars will be posted on BookGreener Connect. Actually, BookGreener Connect is a peer-to-peer skill sharing platform for professionals involved in promoting sustainability in the tourism industry, hotel owners, sustainability officers, labels, experts. The tool is free and allows any member to post the best practice, comment, add a tip. So each of you here are today because they're interested in know how they can impact their local community. Well, as I mentioned in the beginning with our champions, I invite you to do the same. Impact the global community, sharing your stories and inspire other hotel owners and managers. We also have a podcast channel, so please search for us and we'll find tips and interviews of hotel owners, inspiring individuals and organizations. Okay, a few words about what's coming up tonight. In the first part, we have Peter, who will set the stage and tell us what are the key domains to consider when approaching this delicate subject. In the second part, we will hear the stories from two champions of sustainability, Mark from Red Monkey Lodge in Tanzania and Aebe Christian from Shinta Mani Resort in Cambodia. Of course, we will keep plenty of time to answer your questions, so send them our way, and we will either answer them after the presentations or we will add them in the notes of the webinar. Now let me introduce you Peter. Peter has 15 years of professional experience in the Asian region, working at the crossroads of responsible tourism and community management. He has worked in the private and NGO sectors with stakeholders including local communities, government, tourism associations, tour operators, hotels and restaurants. Yeah, he is an expert, you got it. His skills include sustainable tourism project development and management, participatory training, that's not an easy word to say, facilitating partnerships between local communities and tourism businesses, and sustainable tourism standard development. Peter started his career in responsible tourism in 2000 with Intrepid Travel, and then worked with Thai colleagues to establish the Thailand Community-Based Tourism Institute. Since 2010, Peter has undertook diverse responsible tourism consultancies. Peter lectures on tourism and community development and facilitates study tours and field research for students and professionals. He also works with his wife to operate the award-winning Family Tree store in Hua Hin, Thailand, which supports over 40 Thai community groups, local artists, social and environmental initiatives. Of course, you're welcome to contact him directly if you have questions, and here is his email address, peter.e.richards@gmail.com. So I personally look very much forward to your presentation, Peter, because you're going to set the stage. You're going to tell us what the subject is all about, and at the same time you've got first-hand experience. So wow, thank you for being here with us. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Alex, and good evening Jakarta time to everybody. So I'd like to say thank you to Alex and the BookGreener team for the opportunity to participate and to share experience today. Thank you. I've seen that there are many experienced and talented people who have registered for this webinar, and it's a real honor to share with you today. So thank you too for sharing your time, and I hope the presentation is useful, and I look forward to hearing your experiences too. So my name's Peter Richards, and I've worked at the crossroads of responsible tourism and community development since the year 2000. It's very motivating to facilitate inspiring experiences and to help communities to improve their quality of life. But to be honest, what really motivates me is the reality that our world faces so many serious problems, and I really believe that we need diversity of perspectives and knowledge and skills and insight and inspiration to solve these problems. And that means that we need to build bridges between people so that we can build trust and share knowledge and hopefully develop and walk forward together. And tourism offers a really great opportunity to do this, which is why it interests me so much. And it's interesting in terms of an important lesson that I can share, that creating community benefits from tourism is right at the crossroads of tourism and community development. And these are very different disciplines. They have different skill sets and different career paths. And when we're working in one of these fields, in tourism or in development, we can actually be completely unaware of the tools and concepts which are common in the other. And I'm convinced that to be successful, it's really essential for us to be open and to actively try to learn from both of these disciplines. So from tourism, we're learning about product development and marketing and communication and developing experiences. And from the development, we're learning about community mobilization, setting goals through participatory processes, different kinds of training techniques. We need all of these tools to succeed in creating positive impacts for communities through tourism. And my experience and what I believe is that the result is better all round. It's better understanding, better relationships, better experiences, and also better business. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how to have a positive impact on local communities. This is a really excellent goal. However, I would like to emphasize from the start of the presentation that it's just as important to consider how to avoid or reduce negative impacts on communities. Yes, we must definitely stay positive, but we do need to consider that positive benefits may not outweigh negative impacts. Many local communities still rely on their immediate natural environment and their resources for agriculture, food security and spirituality, and so even the best intentioned projects can become a Trojan horse if they distract attention from serious negative impacts. So, careful monitoring and management of natural resources, land, waste, should stay at the top of the community benefits need-to-do list for hoteliers. That said, today's presentation is going to focus on the positive and the practical. What can we do and where can we start? And I've also been asked by Alex to focus on examples which are relevant to hotels. However, the bulk of my field experience is working with communities and specialist tour operators, and so I hope to share some ways that hotels can learn from and apply these experiences too. So starting with the vision of responsible tourism, which seeks to contribute towards better places for people to live and better places for people to visit. For this goal to be achieved, creating positive impacts and benefits for local communities is absolutely essential. And we can be hopeful because there are many opportunities to increase local benefits, from very, very simple steps to more challenging and sophisticated initiatives. And I also have seen that there can be benefits to business too over time. The return of investment in community benefits can be difficult to calculate compared to savings in water or energy, but an increasing number of cases are showing that businesses can enjoy concrete benefits from investing in the social side of CSR and community benefits. But first, let's think, what is a community? A community is not a simple idea. When you mention community, people often think of commonality. For example, a particular area or place considered together with its inhabitants, or a group of people living in the same place having something in common. However, as we know, communities are in fact very diverse and complex. And because of this diversity and this complexity, and particularly in the context of globalization and people working and traveling so much, empathy and respect are incredibly important. They are a fundamental prerequisite for success. Moreover, even with good intentions, the language of sustainable development and sustainable tourism can be patronizing, and this can be an obstacle, and we do need to recognize this. So, I guess initially, I'm inviting us all to consider that we are all community members. We are community members too, and really it's about people working together. So we need to consider our assumptions, be ready to learn, be open, be humble, listen carefully to community members if we intend to create real positive impacts. Why should we create positive impacts? What are the benefits of creating positive impacts for us as hoteliers? Well, first of all, it's becoming clear that our customers increasingly expect it. I was reading a very interesting blog last week written by Willem Nijmegen of Curie Travel, and he was reflecting on his experiences going for Travel Life Sustainability certification. And Willem wrote, "Educated European travellers expect to come away feeling that their holiday, particularly to developing countries, genuinely helped the local population economically, and at the very least was neutral in terms of environmental, cultural and social impacts. Ideally, they want to believe their visit was a positive experience for all involved." At the simplest level, happy, welcoming local people means a safer, better holiday for your guests. If you're going to be proactive, which obviously we're encouraging you to with this webinar, your positive initiatives can motivate your clients with a sense of achievement and your staff with a sense of purpose. Your guests will be impressed by meaningful local experiences and opportunities to meet local people, and you will get great feedback. Engaging your staff with the community side of corporate social responsibility, community benefits, can help with staff retention, and obviously the longer that you retain your staff prevents you from having to invest in training up new staff, finding new staff. Moreover, you are part of the community, and therefore working together with people in the community towards a better community can increase your social license to operate and strengthen your relationships. And at the most basic level, your effort can avoid or reduce opportunities for conflicts with local communities. In my experience working in the field with local communities, I think that there are four P's of successful community tourism initiatives, and these are people, partnerships, process, and patience. Working in the private sector, it's easy to see local communities, destinations as products, but partnerships start with people, and we can work together utilizing all of our skills, all of our knowledge, different perspectives to craft amazing products or experiences together. So we need to see past the product to the people, and then we can build and work together. What kinds of positive impacts can we help to create? Well, first of all, I'd like to invite us to think outside the box, because there are actually many different kinds of positive impacts. And yes, creating income and jobs is important, but it's only one avenue or one possible way of creating positive impacts in communities. We have to think about how we can create positive impacts inside our business, for example, with local people working on our team, and also outside our business in the broader community. And some of the positive impacts we can have include, at a basic level, contributions through taxes, and obviously this money is then invested in infrastructure, education and health. But as we all know, how effective this is depends on the quality of governance in the destinations where we're working. So other actions which we can take directly include offering jobs, real career paths, decent salaries to local people, including management positions, creating business opportunities for local suppliers, farmers, artisans, linkages and partnerships, helping to build skills, build knowledge through training based on our strengths as hoteliers. In terms of philanthropy, we can donate or support local organizations and charities in the local area. Sometimes we can increase access to services if certain services are available in our hotel which aren't available or easily available in the destinations where we're working. We can also work with and strengthen local institutions such as associations, clubs, groups, and we can even give a voice to the voiceless. And a really great example of this is the Inle Princess Resort, which is in Myanmar, described as a restful retreat to nature on Inle Lake, surrounded by the Shan Hills. The team here established the Inle Heritage Hospitality Vocational Training Centre, and this centre offers training and capacity building to local people in the area in a huge range of different curriculum, including tourist attraction sites, waste management, organic farming, rights and responsibilities, and even human rights and community management. So, fantastic example. So how can we have a positive impact? How can we begin to create a positive impact? Well, the first step in the journey is to nominate or employ a CSR champion or manager. It's extremely important that this person has the full support of management, and they are made responsible for community engagement and for creating benefits for the community. This person will engage with department heads and also with the rank and file staff in the hotel in order to increase enthusiasm, motivation, knowledge about how to create benefits for local people. And a lot of their role will be consultation, really listening to local people, and then from listening and discussing together, crafting a vision and a plan, and obviously priorities, because we all have limited time and limited resources, based on local needs, and then taking action, monitoring and communicating the results of what we have achieved. So inside the hotel, the champion is working together with purchasing, for example, trying to increase the percent or the number of local products purchased, with HR, looking at employing local staff, training up local staff, and also, very important, communicating with staff in the hotel and with guests. And outside the hotel, the champion is reaching out and connecting with the local community with formal and informal organizations. It's very important to put the right person on the right job, okay? Really, of course, it's hard. There's no ideal people, but we're looking for people with passion, hopefully some skills and background, and essentially they need to be someone that has empathy. They have empathy for other people. Having worked as an auditor, I recommend that you keep a simple community engagement diary Because if you're using your actions as credit for sustainability certification, then you'll find that you need to formalize many inherently informal activities, such as follow-up, friendly discussions, friendly phone calls. And so it's good to record these, and then your efforts can contribute towards your award. I thought it might be useful for us, just quickly, to review the key criteria of the Global Sustainable Tourism Criteria, which are related to maximizing social and economic benefits for the local community and minimizing negative impacts. The GSTC is an effort to come to a common understanding of sustainable tourism and seeks to be the minimum that any tourism business should aspire to reach. The reason that it's important for us to at least be aware of these criteria is that they are influencing local and national level certification programs. And even if we decide not to be involved in a certification program, the GSTC is a useful resource to inform and orientate us in what kinds of efforts can be made in sustainability. So, here are some of the things which fall under the umbrella of maximizing social and economic benefits to the local community. The hotel actively supports initiatives for local infrastructure and social community development, for example, education, training, health and sanitation. Local residents are given equal opportunity for employment, including management, and all employees are offered regular training and opportunities for advancement. Local services and goods are purchased and offered by the organisation, and where possible following fair trade principles. The organisation offers the means for local small entrepreneurs to develop and sell sustainable products. So these are based on the area's nature, history and culture, for example, food and beverages, crafts, performance arts, agricultural products, creating opportunities for local craftspeople and farmers, for example, to sell to your customers in your hotel. There is a documented code of conduct for activities in indigenous and local communities, which is developed with the collaboration and consent of the affected community. So discussing together, creating a code of conduct together. The organisation has implemented a policy against commercial, sexual or other forms of exploitation and harassment, particularly of children, adolescents, women, minorities. There is an equal employment opportunities to women, local minorities and others, and restraint of child labour. Legal protection of employees is respected, and employees are paid at least a living wage. And our activities do not jeopardise the provision of basic services such as food, water, energy, healthcare or sanitation to the neighbouring communities, and do not adversely affect local access to livelihoods. For example, land, the sea, rivers, rights of way, transport and housing. Yes, it can all seem a bit overwhelming. Okay, so we don't need to do all of these things immediately. Of course, we can take our time and have step-by-step moving forward towards the kinds of aspirations set out by the GSTC. So where do we start? The best advice is to employ a champion and then to join a reputable green hotel scheme, which can help you to approach all aspects of CSR, social and environmental, systematically. In the meantime, there are a few fairly simple actions that you can take, hopefully, from after this seminar. One simple thing that you can do is to develop information to encourage your guests to visit and support local restaurants, local shops. It's even better if you do your homework a little bit, have a look around, see what's going on in your destination, and choose businesses which are also doing something positive for people and planet. So local organic restaurants, perhaps fair trade shops. Put the information onto an information board and give your guests some tips. If they're going to explore the local area, what can they do in 3 hours, in 1 day, in a weekend? At check-in, encourage your staff to encourage your guests to explore the area. And also make sure this information is included in the welcome pack, which is on the table usually in the guest room. An example which I found in a very interesting example in the Travel Foundation's Measuring Tourism Impacts, a Pilot Study in Cyprus report, which I put onto the Facebook page, is the Cordial Green Golf Bungalows, which puts information on our hotel's Facebook page and an information board in the reception area to provide our guests with more information on local events, restaurants and excursions to encourage and facilitate them to leave the hotel and to use local businesses. Another suggestion is to tell your guests about opportunities to support a local charity or a community event. And remember, this can be with money or with time. So you can look around, choose a local charity to support. I remember several years ago staying in the Amari Atrium Hotel in Bangkok, which had worked with Greenleaf for many years. And while I was there, every guest was being offered a tree on check-in to plant. And this is in the middle of Bangkok, so anything is possible. Another idea is to create a local corner where your guests can buy crafts or other souvenirs made by local artisans and producers. And you can create some attractive stories and other information to help to sell these products. And also my own experience, my wife and I have a small boutique shop in Hua Hin in Thailand. And we found that this information can also really foster a sense of respect amongst visitors as well. They leave and go outside into the community with a feeling of more respect and more understanding of the kinds of work and positive initiatives which people are already taking. So it's a positive thing. It can influence people's behavior as well. Another thing which you can do quite simply is in terms of thinking about increasing the number of local products which are sold or sourced in the hotel. Go and chat to the chef or purchasing department. Ask, what foods and beverages do we import or bring in from far away, which we could easily replace with a local option? Discuss local menus, seasonal menus. On a more complex level, you could conduct a complete assessment of opportunities to source and sell more local products in the hotel. You could improve your purchasing policy to focus and give preference to local goods and services. You could set goals to increase the percentage of local products which you intend to source or to sell. And you could think about how to engage with and support your suppliers. First of all, to support their access to your hotel. Do they require any more skills or some assistance with the quality improvement, or perhaps environmental issues? You will definitely find that there are different opportunities and different obstacles in different destinations. And sometimes it's difficult to source certain kinds of products, of course, locally. But before you say, we do what we can, think carefully about what can we do. Another suggestion is to encourage the tour desk to proactively promote local responsible tourism activities. For example, community-based tourism. Many destinations now have excellent community-based tourism programs. Sometimes these are managed by local tourism clubs or groups, and they often have ways of distributing income broadly, for example through community funds or rotation, employing local staff as well. And they can be really fantastic, memorable, authentic local experiences. Lots of these projects are actively looking to welcome more guests, and they would highly appreciate cooperation with your hotel. So please take a good look around the local area and see what kinds of initiatives can be supported. Another idea is to confer with local community members to develop cultural do's and don'ts for your guests, as we mentioned earlier with GSTC. It's very important for us to take seriously that culture is not perceived as a product. It really is something fundamentally important to people's identity and their way of life. And so it's essential for us to help our guests to be responsible visitors, and it will also help them to have a better experience when they know how to behave with people outside the hotel. For me, the core of a code of conduct are the words proud and comfortable. So we can encourage our guests to visit different aspects of the local community, which local people feel proud and comfortable to share with guests. And we can ask community members what kinds of behavior makes them feel uncomfortable and recommend that our guests do not make them feel uncomfortable. Another idea is product development inside the hotel. So inviting local craftspeople, cooks, to offer cooking or crafts or arts demonstrations to guests. I think that there are examples of this. I've seen examples when I've been auditing hotels, but a lot more could be done. A lot more could be done to create memorable, authentic, interesting, inspiring experiences by inviting local artists into the hotel. Slightly more challenging, but you could organise meetings with local community members to learn about their current challenges, their priority needs, and consider how can your hotel help. It's important to try to keep it simple, or you could ask a professional, a facilitator, to assist you with this process. Think about what skills do you have which could be useful for the community. what's the impact of your hotel on the community? I was speaking last week to Lucy McCombs from Leeds Beckett University, and she did a lot of work on community benefits with the Travel Foundation. And her advice as well, which I think was very good advice, was before engaging and setting goals, consider in your own team, what's our vision of our role in the community? And that will help you to scope what you want to discuss together with the community members. Another idea is to develop a training or deliver a training to community members. For example, hospitality, hygiene, cooking, waste management, based on your strengths. And this can help you to become even more part of the community. And a good example is Via Via in Yogyakarta, which was a Wild Asia Responsible Tourism Award winner. They offer provision of free trainings to students who want to work as guides and to communities who would like to work with tourists. Trainings focus on cross-cultural communication and how to identify what is interesting for tourists to see. So yeah, you can have a look. I also posted that on the Facebook page as well. So finally, I would like to say thank you very much once again. Thank you to the BookGreener team. Alex showed me bookgreener.com/connect, which is an online hub forum, and we're able to share examples and case studies there as well. So I'm certainly interested to have a look on that page and see all different examples, different case studies. There'll be a lot to learn, and I encourage you to take a look too and to share your examples. So thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to hearing from the next speakers. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, just want to announce our next webinar. You can already go to Facebook and join it. It's going to be on waste management, health, environment, and aesthetics in about a month's time. This ends the first part of our webinar on how you can impact positively your local communities, and I invite you to check now the second part of this webinar, where we're going to hear great tips and best practices from champions, from Mark and Christian.